Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back. Welcome back to the dojo. Like the video. Thanks for liking the video. Share the video. Thanks for sharing the video. And thanks for subscribing because you came back too many times not to push that button. So the topic of discussion for today is the origin of man. Yes. The origin of man. Mankind. So women too. Ladies, you're not left out. You're a part of this too. Okay, so look, right? I was just, sitting in my room thinking about that age-old question. Where did we come from? Why are we here? You know what I mean? Now, I don't have an answer for you, but I have plenty of speculation. And what we're going to do today is we're actually going to read some text. I'm going to read it. You're going to listen, but I'm going to read some text which may open your mind about the origins of us as human beings. All right? So, peep. This is especially good for my atheists, because we got something special for y'all today. I hope you're a non-believer. If you are a believer, that's wonderful. But it's the people who are skeptic about things who really will actually take the time and effort to try to refute it, because they don't want to believe it. They know that it's possible, but they don't want to believe it, so they'll do everything they can to find the proof that it's not real. That's why I like people who are skeptic, right? So look, right? I'm going to open this book. You may not know what book I'm talking about, but I'm going to open this book, and I'm going to read something from this book, and what I'm going to read, I want you to think about. Now, this is the book that I got. You know what book this is, right? The Good Book. King James Version. Now, here's what I want to read to make you think. Let me put my head in sunlight so it's not a big nasty glare. So look, right? Chapter 1 of Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. We're going to skip ahead unto, where is it? Yeah, verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish, over the sea, over the fowl of the air, over the cattle. I think the next passage says over the creeping thing, and yeah, over earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So, you probably ain't catch what I wanted you to catch as I breeze past it. But I'm going to place it right here so you can look at it. Come, let us make man in our image. Come, let us make man in our image. Who is God talking to? Who is he talking to? Come, everybody, gather around, gather around. Let's make man in our image. What does that mean? That means that there were other beings, deities, angels, gods, goddesses up there with him. God even says, you will have no other gods before me. Yeah. So, look at it like this. What if we were gods, deities, and all those other things in the beyond, in eternity, but in time, we are just mere mortals? Let's go on a tangent real quick with this, right? Let's have fun with this. Let's have fun with this, right? What if in the great beyond before, I was Sun Wukong, the Monkey King? What if you, right? I'm going to talk to a guy. I'm going to talk to a girl next. What if you were... Oh, I got a good one. What if you were one of the Greek gods like Poseidon or Zeus or something? Right? And for the girls, what if you were Aphrodite? Like the baddest, you know what I mean? Like the goddess of love. Like, what if, you know, to the Japanese people out there, what if you were Indra or Ashura from the great beyond before you came into time? So when I look at that, I'm filled with so much wonder. It's like, man, who was I when we were staring at Earth from the cosmos, when we were up there? When we before we came into time, who were we? I know I made a video called "Who Are You?" Right? Who were we? That's the real question. Who were we before we came into existence? Who were we up there in the great beyond? Who were we? Right? So when you look at all these things that depict gods and goddesses and mythology, and it may not be so far off as it exists. Maybe not in this realm, but somewhere it does exist. Right? Come, let us make man in our image. Because there is nothing else like human beings in the entirety of this world. Yeah, we're relative to monkeys, and you know, they use dogs and pigs to like test for things that eventually is going to be used for us for health and medicine and stuff like that, and even rats. You know what I mean? They do that because our DNA is not that far from theirs, but even still, it really makes you wonder. It really makes you think. What are we really? Right? Some people may tell you to look up the Dead Sea Scrolls, or look up the Anunnaki, or look up the hieroglyphics from Egypt. There's so much knowledge that's been etched into history, right? The epics of Gilgamesh, the Odyssey, whether that was mythology or whatever, like, bro, there's so much knowledge within history, and most of that knowledge has been tucked away because everybody doesn't need to know it. You know what I mean? But that scripture that I just read, come let us make man in our image, most people don't really see or dive into what is being said there. I'm one of those people who I believe completely and wholeheartedly in the Creator, the divine being that men have called God. I believe in Him, right? But the Holy Bible, the book, I can't say that I believe every single word in there, because I know how human beings are, and human beings wrote this book. But there are some things in that book that you cannot deny. You just cannot. Right? Taking it a step further with the origins of man. Right? What if a human being is really just the amalgamation of all the beings on earth? The fallen angels and the fall of man, it was said that they sinned against everything. Oh my God, there's so many. They sinned against every living being. I don't really know how you want to interpret that, but that's it's very open-ended, so do with that what you will. All I know is everything in creation has an origin. We don't know our true origin. Maybe it would disgust us to know how we came into being. Who knows? What I want you guys to do is to think more. Think more in depth. When you come across words on paper, dissect them. Really look at what you're reading. You know, a lot of times when we read things, we're just glancing past it to get to the most important part. But you got to look at everything. You got to look at everything. I was reminded of that yesterday. Pay attention to everything that you can. You can't catch everything, but everything that you can catch, please catch it. Don't let it go. Right? Human beings, over the course of time, have been able to do some marvelous and amazing things. The greatest of us, you know, those like Bruce Lee, like some of the greatest gymnasts, the Olympic gymnasts, you know, some of the greatest athletes, you know what I mean, that probably could compete with predators in the wild with the way certain football players can get that tackle. Certain running backs can evade and juke like a gazelle in the wild. You know what I mean? The martial artist, how he imitates the mantis and the monkey and the crane and the tiger, right? I even saw a video of a human being picking up a whole horse. Now, mind you, this dude was huge. This was a big guy, but it's possible for a human being to lift a horse. I saw it. It wasn't a doctor video. This man, the horses, I think it was sedated. It was tranquilized or whatever. And his legs were tied up. I think it, you know, maybe he was sick or something. I don't know, or maybe he just really wanted to pick up this horse. But Jesus Christ, it was a full-grown horse. I think it was male. I don't know if they're heavier or lighter than the females, but do with that what you will. This man literally picked up a horse. Bro. So what that means is we have strength untapped. Right? I saw images, and I saw images of petrified remains of like creatures from maybe before the flood or before the ice age and stuff like that. Bro, these creatures were huge. Like, you can see the fossilized or petrified remains like in tree bark and They have like stone cutouts of things that were buried beneath layers and layers of mud, sedimentary rock, and all that. Like, man, the dragonflies were like 10 times the size of the ones we have today. And the guy who was explaining all the stuff that I was looking at, he was saying that was because of the amount of oxygen that was in the air. That was before deforestation and, you know what I mean, all this pollution that we got here. You know what I mean? And the ice age and the meteorite or whatever, you know, however far you want to go back. What I'm saying is, the abilities, the powers that we had back then pale in comparison. Pale in comparison. What we were able to do in ancient times pales in comparison to what we're able to do today. Now, don't get me wrong, the modern man can still do amazing and marvelous things at a physical level. You know what I mean? But our abilities were stripped from us because of this society that we live in. Everything's toxic. The air, the water, everything's poison. Right? In the Bible, it was saying that people was living like 300, 400, 500, 600 years. You know what I mean? I just wanted to bring this to you guys' attention today. Maybe we're greater or worser than what we thought of this whole time. Who knows? I just want you guys to think deeper and try to reach for more. Try to find more, understand more, and do more. Right? So, before I close out this video, I want to say once again, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for liking the videos. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for subscribing, because it truly means a lot to me. And I'm glad that you guys are here to help support the channel and help it grow. Professor Hawk signing out. Class is dismissed. Hawk Sensei bids you adieu. Now please, share the video, like the video, and don't forget to subscribe. When we get to 100, I might have something nice for you guys. Take care.